Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm Mica Burton.
Is it game over for GameStop? Well, no, not yet. Oh. But maybe we can start to see credits rolling in the distance a little bit.
The video game retailer says that it will close between 150 and 225 of its stores, GameSpot reported. While that's seemingly a low percentage of its 7,500 stores worldwide, it's another sign that the brick-and-mortar retailers continue to face challenges in an increasingly digital world. And that's especially true when it comes to video games.
So what's the reason for all the GameStop closures? The same reason why every retailer closes down locations. It's bad sales. And it's been no secret that GameStop has fallen on hard times. The retailer had a pretty rough 2016 holiday season, which is bad because that's the biggest time of the year for video game sales.
GameStop's fourth quarter profits in 2016 were down a whopping 13.6% from the previous year, after it saw losses in sales of new games and new consoles. So why the big drop?
Why?
GameStop blamed it on aggressive console promotions by other retailers on Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday, as well as weak sales of certain AAA titles. Sweet burn.
Not selling as well as you thought they would. CEO Paul Raines said in a statement that the video game category was weak, particularly in the back half of 2016, and those sales losses hit GameStop hard. Its stock dropped by 31% over the past year.
Ouch. Analysts say that there are a few reasons why sales are sucking hard at GameStop, except for the brand new Nintendo Switch. We're a few years into the current generation of consoles, and a maturing console cycle can be bad for retailers like GameStop. If you want a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, chances are that you'll already have one. We'll see if the release of Xbox's Project Scorpio changes that at all, but
PS4 Pro clearly didn't do enough for it. And the Xbox One S also launched last year, clearly didn't do enough. So maybe, maybe not. And of course, all the digital sales of games continue to eat into the physical retailers' profits as online services like Steam, Xbox Live, and PlayStation Network have continued to take more and more and more of that games market.
We can't all be Eddies and buy physical. Don't give me that look.
You are our hero sometimes, though, Eddie, when games take really long to download.
New initiatives by console makers are hurting GameStop too. Last month, its stock dropped 8% after Microsoft announced its Xbox Game Pass service, which gives players access to more than 100 Xbox One and backwards-compatible Xbox 360 games. That means that players can access a wide variety of games that they might have purchased used at GameStop, which represents a big part of its profit margin.
Right. On the bright side, though, GameStop said in a recent earnings report that sales of the Switch are incredibly strong, and the retailer continues to sell out of the console within hours of getting new shipments. It said it expects that supply of Switches to continue to be an issue for the rest of 2017. That's the whole rest of the year.
That's a long time.
Holiday in particular, probably. It's like a second Mario Odyssey hits. Ooh. You know, like mainstream people are gonna be like, I can get it for little Timmy for Christmas.
Little Timmy?
Little Timmy. GameStop also said the Switch has real potential to be Wii-like in its ability to expand the category from core to broad audiences. Like little Timmy.
Like little Timmy! The retailer is also bullish on the Scorpio, saying that purchase intent for the console is at PS4 levels or higher. I like these descriptors, Wii-ish PS4 levels.
Well, you gotta put it in context of other things. Right. Otherwise, you can't have a winner and a loser. And we're gamers, that's the language we speak. There's also another bright spot for the retailer, and that is collectibles. GameStop reported a 27.8% increase in its collectibles sales over the year, mostly thanks to strong sales of Pokemon merchandise.
And despite the store closures, GameStop still plans to open more than 100 new stores in 2017. But they won't be focused on video games?
Interesting.
What? CNN says the company will focus on its Spring Mobile wireless retail brand, as well as sales of collectibles to try and turn things around.
Right. Okay. Still, the rest of 2017 could be a problem sales-wise for GameStop. For the upcoming fiscal year, GameStop expects hardware sales to be roughly flat, as it doesn't know if Switch and Scorpio sales will be enough to offset the expected decline in hardware sales.
Of course, GameStop is hardly the first brick-and-mortar store that's having trouble competing with the Amazons of the world. CNN reported that chains like JCPenney, Macy's, and even Staples all announced store closures over the last year. And recently, Sears Holding, which owns the Sears and Kmart stores, told investors that it has substantial doubts that the company can even survive.
So, yeah, it's not really a bright outlook for retailers. As for whether or not GameStop will go the way of the dodo bird, people like to make these predictions all the time. But the market for used video games still isn't going anywhere anytime soon. There is, yes, there's PlayStation Now, there's Xbox Game Pass, but gaming can be an expensive hobby. It adds up for some. So either purchasing used games for a couple dollars off the price you'd get it new, or trading in old games to fuel new purchases, that's something that's going to be around for a long, long time. And one thing that Xbox Game Pass does not do is let you sell those games later on. So you can't translate them into new purchases.
Yeah, but remember Tower Records? We all thought they were going to be around too.
Yeah.
GameStop's issue, the issue that they've been constantly having to address with their investors for the last few years, is how they plan on grabbing some of the digital market. They've dabbled in a number of strategies to combat that, most recently in the form of pre-ordering digital currency, like the kind found in MLB The Show.
So yeah, GameStop's ability to hold so much of the games market is going to diminish as people switch to digital, but there will always be a place in this world for a retailer that buys back games and gives you new ones.
The question for GameStop is, how much will it have to shrink to get down to a sustainable number of stores? We'll see what happens as the retailer, like so many others, cough cough Tower Records, tries to adjust to a customer base that is buying more and more goods online.
Yeah, honestly, like there are, just in Austin alone, there are dozens of stores. So chances are we're not gonna need that many if it becomes mostly a used game retailer.
Right.
We'll see. What do you think of GameStop closing so many stores? Do you buy most of your games online now as opposed to putting on your pants and going to the store? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your gaming news and the future of big box stores that really want to sell you a new Xbox or Switch, be sure to like this video and subscribe to The Know. A whopping 13.6% from the previous year, after it saw losses in sales of new games and new consoles. So why the big drop? I said that weird. They've dabbled in a number of strategies to combat that. Combat?
Yeah, combat.
Combat. Yeah, interesting.
Although combat works.
Combat works.